Hi, I'm Marshall from Ask Marsh, and today we are talking with David Fevaleaki from Backpicker. How are you, David?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Pretty good.
Excellent. So I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respect to elders past and present. So we're going to talk about Backpicker, but first we want to start talking about you, if that's all right. How did the idea for Backpicker come about?
Yeah, so I guess Backpick came along from my personal experience, my parents being migrants, travelling to Australia from Tonga and working in the farms, picking grapes for 26 years, and also the past 8 years working on an almond farm. So growing up on the farm, moving away when I was 15 to another town from where I lived was Robinvale, which is down in Sunraysia. And then at 15, I moved away to Bendigo, not knowing anyone, having to create my own connections, my own networks. And through those networks, I was able to complete a trade apprenticeship in plastering. And that gave me the ability to go out and find work across Australia in the mining, construction, and farming industries. So all those experiences combined was what made me create Backpicker.
So what's the specific thing about your experience that said there's a problem here that I've got to solve? What was the trigger perhaps for that?
So the trigger was when I finally secured a job in the mining industry. It took a lot of networking, a lot of research to find out what certificates, what licenses, and what experiences I needed to secure that work. And I was just lucky that I was able to reach out to a football club that I could move to that town, play footy, and they'd get me a job. And that's where it sort of pushed me to create Backpicker so that we're able to educate and share the knowledge of my experiences with future workers that are looking to work in the mining industries. Simple systems, and hopefully that can help them, secure work like I have.
You've got a trade, and you've got obviously what's a great job. What motivates you, or what was the inspiration for you to go? Well, I'm going to put that to one side, and I'm going to go down this startup, this entrepreneurial route.
I think it was entrepreneurship has always been part of me. Growing up as a kid, 11 years old, I'd go and mow my uncle's lawn for $50 each time, and I would always wait until it's 5 centimeters too long. I'd go mow it just to get that $50.
Yep.
And then I guess in Bendigo, when I first moved there, during when I was completing VCE, year 11 and 12, I needed extra cash because my parents could only supply a certain amount of money to live and go to school. So I networked, created new friends, and secured a job at Hungry Jack's. So it's always been in me to sort of put myself in the right positions to do what I have to do to get money and to get what I need to, I guess, purchase what I wanted, which at that time was, going to parties, having to purchase a couple of beers here and there. And then with the plastering, what's pushed me was just doing a job that I didn't fully enjoy, and it wasn't my passion. Like plastering, I loved it, and it's given me so much in my life, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. And now I've realised that the part of Backpicker of helping people secure that work, sharing my knowledge to make their life easier, that's where my passion lies. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really because usually, speaking from a lot of people say having a startup isn't the best way to guarantee an income, and so that money itself can't be the motivator. So in your case, it's that wanting to do something for some other people, and this is Backpick is the best way to do it. That's what I'm understanding?
Yeah, definitely. The money's never driven me in anything that I've ever tried. So it's definitely the helping, sharing my knowledge through Backpicker, and then looking back on it and potentially placing, thousands to a million job seekers into positions that they wouldn't have been able to secure, but through Backpicker they did.
Yeah, for sure. So now you're in the soup. So now you're working on Backpicker. You've put sort of the easy life behind you a little bit. And you're doing this challenging thing. You're at a startup. You're still at a very early stage of a startup. How do you generate new ideas? How do you, what's the next thing? How do you come up with the next thing to do?
Yeah, now we have our first version, our MVP. We launched that 2 months ago. And now the ideas that we had in the beginning, it all just comes back to the feedback and the data we collect from our current users that we have now using our product. So we may have an idea on how this system is going to work for the business, whether it's the recruiting or the filtering systems to find the best match. But that doesn't really matter at this stage, because it might not match what the business owners need, want, or the data that we collect. So at this stage, the ideas are just our ideas, our assumptions. It's all based off data and feedback.
So it's listening to your customers as well. So it's 100%. being aware of what they want. So as you're going through this process of having been a plasterer and now being a startup entrepreneur, what worries you most? What's keeping you up at night? What's your greatest fear?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have a whole list of things that worry me, but I guess the main thing is that working on Backpicker, and I guess at the end of the day, to build a business, we need to be able to create an income so that we can build a team and develop a better product and add more value. So my main fear is that we get to a stage where we do either turn on a subscription model or start charging, and all our customers disappear. So then that means that we can't grow, we can't, and the past 6-7 months that we worked on Backpicker has all been for nothing. So yeah, that's my biggest fear at the moment, is that we end up building a product that nobody wants.
So, well, and I think you're wrong, but let's just put that to one side. So that sort of thing can be quite stifling, perhaps, or some people faced with that fear would almost be indecisive about what to do next. How do you push through the fear and not let that freeze you in place?
Yeah, I reckon it just goes back to make sure that, I guess, while you're building the business, you want to be surrounding yourself around people that have the knowledge or have that experience to be able to put processes in place that you can tick off, and be able to really focus in on how to navigate around those problems, which I think we've done pretty well at the moment. So yeah, just reach out, create a network of mentors, advisors that have that experience that can help you get through that or get past that fear.
And so I guess leading on from that, that's quite good advice. What other advice would you have for entrepreneurs, whether they be rural-based people like yourself, or maybe even people at uni, whatever else, just starting out? What sort of things have you learned along the journey that you think other people would benefit from?
Yeah, there's a whole list. There's a whole list of knowledge that's been passed on to me, and I think if you're just getting into the game, or you're just starting a startup, you want to sort of look around at the people you're surrounding yourself with. So just start with your close friends, your close family, the 5 closest people you're interacting with on a daily basis, and just see what type of value they're bringing to yourself. So whether they're negative, are they supportive? And if you're finding out that your close network are always picking holes in your ideas, or they're not open to your idea, or then you need to, I guess, minimize the time that you spend with them and start to hang around positive people that that you feel comfortable to say, look, I'm going to go start this business. What do you think? And they're going to say, yeah, go for it. You got nothing to lose. That's the type of people you want to start hanging around with. You don't want to be throwing ideas out to your closest five networks and they start picking holes through it. You want to be comfortable enough to say, look, I want to make $1 million out of this business or out of this startup. Set like ridiculous goals, doesn't matter. And if you don't hit that target, they're not going to come and pick holes and go, oh, I told you weren't going to do it. So you want to put yourself around supportive, positive people. And it may be that you want to play football or you want to become a doctor. If you hang around 4 doctors or 4 potential doctors, you're most likely going to be the 5th. If you hang around 4 AFL, potential AFL players, you're most likely going to be the 5th. So I'd start there, surround yourself, create a positive environment, positive network around people that want to be high achievers.
That's really good advice. Does that mean that there's people who basically maybe friends or former colleagues or even family members that you no longer associate with because of that reason?
I wouldn't say I've cut them off, but I've just minimised the time I spend interacting with them. And a good little trick is if you're seeing a friend that you might have on social media that, you're always noticing that they're being negative, you've always got the unfollow button.
You do.
Click the unfollow button. Like that's as easy as it is. And what you'll start to see is you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is check your socials. Positive posts. That's what you're going to start to see. And then that's what you're going to, I guess, take in visually. And then also, I guess, podcast is one big thing that I'm using at the moment of positive reinforcement. And then the way I speak now is positive. So visually, and then through your ears, you'll notice it yourself start speaking more positive. So back to your question. Yeah. So I haven't cut them off. I haven't cut off friends, but I've limited the amount of interaction I'm having with them.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's legitimate. I was going to ask you about podcasts, especially in ISO. It's become very popular. Can you recommend 1 or 2 podcasts that you find particularly motivating?
Yeah, so I guess the main one, Tony Robbins.
Yep.
To get started, he interviews a lot of great entrepreneurs, a lot of successful entrepreneurs, and yeah, I'll definitely start with Tony Robbins, and that you'll notice that will lead in to following many successful entrepreneurs that he interviews and he coaches still to this day.
It's a good one to start with. I guess to wrap up. So, what's next for Backpicker? Like, what does the next 6 months look like? What does the next 10 years look like? Where do you want to go with this?
Yeah, so 6 months, we're hoping to build a platform that all job seekers, migrant workers, traveling workers, visa holders, international students, all the farming businesses, hospitality industry, see Backpicker as the #1 platform to come to find the best candidates. And Backpicker has that ability to create a quick, easy match for those businesses, but also for the job seekers. We're here to support them.
Yep.
And create a safe environment that they know that they're not going to be exploited on the platform. So that's the next 6 months. The next 10 years, we hope this is going all out there. And this is something that I mentioned earlier about throwing ridiculous goals out there. We hope to be, the Google of job search. So everyone comes to Backpicker to look for a job.
Do you see Backpicker as being Australia only, or is there potential for overseas growth as well?
Yeah, the whole vision has always been international.
Okay.
But at the moment, we're just currently focusing on Australia, and then hope to expand globally.
Oh, very good. Well, good luck. So it's backpicker.com.au if anyone wants to check it out and learn more about what David's up to. It's been great talking to you today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marshall. Appreciate it. Thank you.
See ya.